Greetings, I'm Jan Jackson, School Governance Facilitator for Zones 2 and 4. I am also a member of the South Fulton Mental Health Collaborative. This month, our theme is Student Voices, and I am very excited to have two students from the South Fulton community to share with you strategies that they use to cope during this pandemic. These students also serve on their school governance councils. You may be asking yourself, well, what is school governance? Here's more information from Freddie Benshine.
Hello, my name is Freddie Benshine, and I'm the coordinator for school governance and flexibility at Fulton County Schools. In Fulton, we believe in the importance of local decision making, so we've empowered all of our schools to have a school governance council comprised of parents, community members, staff, teachers, principals, and of course students. Our students on our school governance councils provide a great lens and great feedback opportunity for the student body to have decision making in some of the big things that are happening at the schools. Our student members often bring proposals about funding directions, policy waivers, and curriculum decisions to our SGCs. So we're very proud to have them on our councils, super appreciative of the work they do.
My name is Gina Foster, and I serve as the School Governance Facilitator for Zones 1 and 3 in Fulton County Schools. Today, we will hear from two of our seniors in Fulton County Schools, Rachel Maverick and Madison Webb. Rachel Maverick and Madison Webb both serve as student leaders on their school governance councils, their SGCs, as well as the Fulton County School Superintendent Advisory Council. Rachel Maverick is a 12th grade student at Banneker High School. Rachel is very active in many extracurricular organizations such as Future Foundation and Next Generation Men and Women. After high school, she plans to go to college to receive a BA in studio art and then pursue a certificate in teaching art. Madison Webb is a senior at Langston Hughes High School. She was recently elected as Langston Hughes High School student body president and is the co-captain of her school's varsity debate team. She has also been a dual enrollment scholar at Georgia Military College since her sophomore year, and she will earn an associate's degree in communications in December 2020. She will pursue an education by majoring in political science or comparative literature at a 4-year college or university next fall. Let's welcome Rachel Maverick and Madison Webb.
Hello, my name is Rachel Maverick. I am a senior at Benjamin Banneker High School, and today I'll be talking about how I navigate schooling through a global pandemic, as well as addressing how I manage my mental health. So for me personally, I am face-to-face, which means I go in person to school every single day, and I am socially distanced from my peers and my teachers. So this experience is quite different from a normal schooling because you're all spread out and you aren't able to get really close or see people's faces and see their actual emotions. This is kind of interesting. It's kind of weird, but you get used to it. But before I was face-to-face, I was 100% virtual and also hybrid. So I've had all of the experiences that anybody could be experiencing right now during this pandemic. So for me, some tips I would give for going to school virtually is to have a to-do list, write everything down that you need to do, and don't procrastinate. I know it's like, procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. That's such an easy thing to say, but don't procrastinate. Just write a to-do list. Give yourself a reward when you complete an action. So if I have 2 pages of my chapter to read or something, just an example, I read that chapter and then, okay, I can watch TikTok or be on Instagram or do whatever I want to do for 15 minutes as a break, as an incentive to get myself motivated in order to complete that task. You want to try to make it so that you aren't just on your phone or taking naps. You want to make it so that you're doing your work and then doing those actions because you're going to do it anyway, right? And also I would say use your tutorial resources wisely. So if you know your teacher likes to come on to your Zoom call 5 minutes before class starts, if you have a question or you don't get something from last class, come to class early and ask the question to your teacher. Email your teacher for your question. Make sure that you're reaching out to your teacher so that they know what's happening. If you can't show up to class because you aren't feeling well or you have a doctor's appointment, let your teachers know, because then they'll know and they can work with you and they can understand instead of them being in the dark and them not knowing. That's very important. I would also say for people that are in person, still do those things. If your teacher, if you have some extra time in between transition and you need to address something that you don't understand, make sure that you're taking that time to do that, because that's what your teachers are there for, to answer your questions so that you understand and you learn. They're there for you. As regards to mental health, I would definitely say that for me personally, it's been a roller coaster, especially with everything that's been going on, from the Black Lives Matter movement to not being able to see any of my close friends for 6 to 7 months now. It's been very devastating, but you have to learn to cope with that. You have to understand, process your feelings, reach out for help if you need help. Talk to your parents, talk to your counselors, talk to a teacher that you're close to and a trusted adult, and ask them for advice, ask them for resources. If you aren't able to physically meet up with your friends in a safe way, then I would suggest having a Zoom call or texting them, contacting people that can be your support system, be the people that you would have interacted with. You want to make sure that you're still being social, even if you're social distancing, because social health helps with your mental health, and that will allow you to be able to achieve more in school because you won't be worried about all these other things. That's pretty much all I have to say, but I just want to let you guys know that today is not the end. Where you are now is not where you will be forever. This is only temporary, and that tomorrow you have another chance to try, another chance to succeed, another chance to just start anew. So don't give up and stay positive. That's it for me, folks.
Hi, my name is Madison Webb, and I'm a senior at Langston Hughes High School. I'm also a member of the Student Governance Council, and I'm a student leader for the Student Governance Council. And I'm excited today to come here and talk to the South Fulton County Mental Health Initiative about some challenges that we've been facing in this pandemic. A lot of my peers and I have been facing this is probably the most obvious, but it's a quote or a term going around the virtual world now. It's called Zoom fatigue, and this can apply to whatever platform you're on, but we use Zoom as the universal tech language for this phenomenon where we're at the computer for hours on end for a whole 8-hour school day with our lunch break. Yes, the Zoom fatigue manifests because we're transitioning where we have an 8-hour school day in person, and it's fun because we get to interact, we get to have this freedom, and we're not isolated in four walls. Well, yes, we're isolated in 4 walls, but we have more freedom because we're with our friends. We're not isolated with our families, and at times your family issues can take a toll on you if you don't have a good relationship with your family, which is a challenge because it makes us unmotivated too much to do work. That's the reality of it. As bad as we want to succeed in school, this Zoom fatigue is still a reality. It still takes a toll on our mental health. I can tell that it's taken a toll on my outlook on life. I start to question the point of college, the point of school, if this pandemic doesn't get under control for the next 2 or 3 years. It makes me question the point of trying hard. Another issue is planning for SGA and senior activities that we want to do. That's been put on hold a lot because the administration, they're so busy with containing the coronavirus and making sure that students are getting back on track and staying on track in school. But, with the Zoom fatigue and this whole phenomenon where this is just such an uneasy environment, it starts to take a toll on both the administrators and the students, and it's just this weird dissonance between the two. My job as a student governance council student leader is to bring these tips to both teachers and students about what we can do to mitigate these issues. The first being, one of the things that has worked for me was being mindful, practicing mindfulness, whether this is through meditation or exercise. I think in a virtual environment, it's so easy to get caught up in what's going on in the virtual world, even more than the pre-COVID world, when we were struggling with the overuse of social media and texting and cyberbullying and stuff. But now everything has to be done virtual, so it's exacerbated even more. But practicing that mindfulness and knowing that I'm still whole without this virtual environment is what's keeping me sane. And I think some tips for teachers could be to understand students and understand that so many students, now that they're in their homes, they come from so many different environments that it can make it hard to facilitate a classroom virtually when so many students have so many different things going on at home. And I think a good way for teachers to address that issue is also to meditate and be mindful like we're doing. I think that practicing love in the classroom, I've never seen it happen in an in-person environment, but I would love to see it happen in a Zoom environment, because this is what we need right now. We need supportive teachers. We need a supportive community. We understand as people, individuals, what we're going through alone, but it's kind of like we're afraid to share it. And it kind of takes a toll on the socio-emotional learning aspect of education, which I think is a vital part of education, because it keeps students motivated and it makes them feel valued. So I think that's one thing that teachers can take into consideration when dealing with students in this environment. Additionally, something that I've been able to do was schedule time to talk with friends. I have more free time than ever. That's one plus side of being virtual. I have more free time than ever to talk with my friends when I want, or schedule times like that. So to end this off, I'm so excited to be an advocate for mental health. Being aware and mindful within your own body is something that I'm super passionate about, and I look forward to exploring this idea with the South Fulton Mental Health Initiative in the future.